this, for example, with the bicyclists. Okay, we stuck behind these guys for maybe about a minute and a half now, or whatever it is, something like that. And this guy's at Bright Sun, big time. They're all grouped together, and they kind of spread out recently. I'll probably just include the second clip of this. I'll probably cut out part of it. So I gotta limit how much I upload. They delay it based on how much time it is. So if I do a 5-minute clip, we probably can upload it in a reasonable amount of time. 50-minute clip, they might delay it for days. I've had several day delays in some of these video clips, and the size of the video tends to affect it too. It should really take no more than an hour, right? No more than half an hour or so, right? But I have a lot of delays. So you see here, now we're like, whatever it is, right? 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes, 45 seconds, wherever we're at now. And this started before the clip I'm going to put. And we still haven't found a way around these bicyclists. At least one of them separated from the group. But you have to pass them and so on and so forth. So they choose these windy roads. You see there's kind of blind turn. That guy kind of jumped the gun a little bit in the sense he did. So they go like this. Hey, to some degree, I can turn back toward the bicyclist, and the other car will have enough room to slide through. But it's still a dangerous situation. With these bigger groups, it's not so much. You now have a straightaway. Now I can pass them. And then here's there's a car coming with his brights on in the distance. See, it's like an obstacle course, and it's fucking petty. People need to grow up. There's some degree of it's interesting, but it's immature, and it shouldn't be taking place. First and foremost, they shouldn't be harassing me, stalking me, persecuting me. Behind me, there's several people with their brights on right now behind me. What a mess, right? Daytime running lights that are bright as brights. Here it says on that sign, it says your mom a slut. I think I pointed out before. I don't think it's a coincidence there that I say in my videos that people, if you date toward money, then you're a whore, right? You're a prostitute, right? And a gold digger like a hooker, but smarter. I say things like this, and then boom, there is it on that sign. Obviously, the state's collaborating with them. They're not arresting them for these things. They're not getting them tickets. It's just a lawless, ruffian society. It's not a coincidence. The actress who played Xena, I believe her name was Lucy Lawless. I believe she also played Lucretia in one of these, Spartacus, or one of these movies about Rome. Because it is a kind of college Greek frat society, a kind of social club fraternity society. It is a lawless society. The law of the land is the law of the devil. It's a predominantly Christian culture where their own Bible says Satan is the god of this world. So if we're talking about the law of the land, we are talking about the law of Satan. Okay, they're not talking about the Jerusalem in the sky. Galatians 4 said so Jerusalem in the sky is the one that's of God. The one that's in the land, right? The law of the land is of the devil, right? Sinai, right? Sin, Alpha, I. That's not a coincidence. The Bible, it's full of anagrams and cryptograms. And Bible Gateway, for example, and other websites like this, they point that out in the footnotes. They say this, and then they also name, this guy's brights on the truck. They also say, hey, Rahab is another name for Egypt. Why even give Egypt another name? Because they do this kind of wordplay thing. Moses means to draw out the water, and there's all kinds of names like that, right? Jacob, right, as very interesting interpretations, meanings of his name. I can't remember off the top of the head, but it means to Jacob basically is another word for the devil. It gets confusing why that is. Okay, it's basically In a sense, the Bible is about God trying to reason with women, especially attractive women, and trying to reason with people who are sinners through the prophets who they kill. That's basically the Bible in a nutshell. Okay, and the Lord is a warrior, the Lord is his name, so those who man up as a warrior and tell the truth, and those who conform to the land and the world. Okay, so it says, do not love the world or anything in the world. If anyone loves the world, love for the Father is not in him. 1 John 2:15. So it's about the clash between the conformists, the craftsmen, the military, the police, the government, the churches that are allowed, right? The churches are allowed, like the Pharisees are allowed, right? Jesus didn't have a church that he went to. He wandered, and he's pointed that out. He said the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head, because the established groups worship the devil, and they're allowed to establish themselves in the land. That's part of why I'm being persecuted, and I'm not allowed to establish myself, not allowed to have a church, and so on and so forth. My videos are suppressed. They're persecuting me. In the history of, you look at the history of torture documentary, they like to make examples of people. They put there's this little, you put your head through it and your hands through it, a little wooden kind of post, a little wooden block in the middle of town, that they would have people, and they had a picture of a Buddhist monk with his head through it and his hands through it. Because Satan is a scientific racist, he's a sexual sadist, he's a eugenicist, he's a control freak, right? He's sexually immoral, horny devil, control freak, okay? He's a lunatic. He's the spirit of the world's oppression. And in Revelation, I want to say Revelation 18, it says, come out of her so you won't share in her sins. And then in Revelation 19, it says Jesus wages war, and he's coming from the sky, right? Figuratively speaking, at least. And he says he's waging war with justice and righteousness against those who have conformed to the world, who didn't come out of Babylon's system, which is the greater global system of the world, whose right-left paradigm, right? Nationalists are also part of the system, not just liberal globalists, okay, is in the world. And obviously, many of you have heard my argument many times. Those who cheat me out of my right to lead worship the devil, because God is not the author of disorder, but of peace with God. In Isaiah, it says there is no peace for the wicked, so we know it's peace with God. In the New Testament, it says, do not think I come to bring peace, but a sword, right? A sword of Scripture, a sword of the Spirit of God that clashes with the spirit of the world. To me, I just do what is fair. So some people say, well, why do you bring up the military and police so much? What happened here? This guy got hit by another accident. See, these accidents, aren't that common. I'm guessing this guy hit him or something. Wow. Okay. Go ahead and record this a little bit more. Okay, that chick had there was blood on her face. What the hell? This bitch ass motherfucker behind me. He just started to merge in my lane, and then he didn't merge in my lane. That was suspicious. So, yeah, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Too bad I didn't pick up more of that stuff. But man, that was something else. Someone got hit. Okay, you send me a message. You think you should hit people? You think you should flip cars over? Okay, you think, what the hell is wrong with you people? You know what I'm saying? Think you're winning? I command you to stop persecuting me and stop making people suffer. You do not have God's permission to test me or persecute me or make people suffer. Just stop. Over here in the distance, the siren going to that accident. I'm mad that I didn't catch it.
gonna obey the damn traffic law or whatever. And I didn't pick up the phone and record it. I'm kind of bitter about it. At times that I should just screw the traffic law. It's more important to catch what has happened and what I see than to obey it. Because you should have saw there's a little bit of a light go through there just now.